Hello students, in this video we'll discuss about the human respiratory system in the chapter 17, breathing and exchange of gases. So in previous video we have discussed different structures that are involved in the respiration in different organisms. So now directly we deal with the respiratory system of man. Respiratory system of man, that is human respiratory system, we can also put the title, right? So here the diagram is important, how to draw and label the parts, so which may be expected for 5 marks. So we'll draw here the diagram. Nostrils are the openings, so there is a nasal cavity like this, and you can make this plate between this water. This is the mouth you can show. This is the oral cavity. So you can show this is the diagram, very important here. So this is the plate, so we call it as a soft plate, sorry, this is the soft plate, this part, and here this is the hard plate. Yes, this is what we call the hard plate, and this is the soft plate. So the next portion you can draw here like this. So a little more extension you can show. And this part is the pharynx, and it enters in the neck region. This is the neck region, and can show this is what in the neck region. So here in the neck region there is a larynx, it's also called voice box, and this is the lateral view of the diagram, and next part is the actual front view. So that's what the sectional view of the respiratory system we should draw. And here in the neck region there is a larynx, also called voice box. So and next it leads to enter the tubular structure called trachea, and trachea is actually formed by ring-like structures which is hyaline cartilaginous rings, even during bending, so in the different positions also kept open this tube. So this is what the tubular structure trachea. And next one is uh, the primary branches, what we call the branches of the trachea. Branches of the trachea are called the primary bronchi. They are left and right primary bronchi. So these bronchi, so the bronchi you can say, enters the respective lungs. There are two lungs, so you may observe. So here there are two lungs, so you can show this, the lungs. Yes, these are the two lungs. So this is what the left lung, and this is the right lung. So these primary bronchi enters the respective lungs and divides multiple times. So even here there are three lobes are there. So in the right lung, right lung, three lobes are there. So we can observe these three lobes in this form. So these are the three lobes, 1, 2 and 3. These are lobes of lungs. So but in case of the left lung, in the left lung, so there are only two lobes are there. So you can show these two lobes like this. These are lobes, right? There are two lobes in left lung and three lobes in right lung, right? And the some deepened area we observed here because of the location of the heart is slightly towards left lung here. At the center, heart is situated in this chest region. So when we observe the position of the lungs in the rib case, they are found in the rib case in the thoracic region, right? So next there is a diaphragm is also here. There is a diaphragm which separates the muscular layer which separates the thorax and abdomen. This is what the diaphragm, right? So the you can show the branches of the the lungs, sorry, the primary bronchus. This is what we call primary bronchus, which divides into number of secondary bronchioles. Yes, they are referred as the bronchioles, right? That's what we call secondary bronchi, or in a plural term bronchi we can say, in a uh, singular term secondary bronchus. This is what we call, this is primary bronchus, secondary bronchus. Next it will divide tertiary bronchus, tertiary and coronary, like that. So finally the many bronchioles are formed, right? So there are many bronchioles are formed and ends with a areolar sac, air sac. So that forms the air sac. So this air sac, it's like a grapes bunch, right? So you can say it is a bunch of grapes. So this is what the actual the bronchioles, the end of the tubular structures are called bronchioles, right? So what we call bronchioles. So even you can also show in this side the branches. So like this bronchial tree is formed. So bronchial tree you can say. So this is what the bronchioles. And the lung is, both lungs are covered the separately by a layer. This is what the can show the layer. This is covered by the layer. There are two layers are there, pleural layers. You can show the pleural layers, both lungs separately covered by. Yes, this is what the two layers are there. So you can show the two layers here like this. So here the outer layer is the pleural layers, what we call, no? The outer layer is parietal pleura. Now we can label the parts. So this is the nasal cavity. This is what the nasal cavity, and next this is the hard plate. This is soft plate, and this is the mouth region, and this is actually the openings called external nostrils. You can show that is external nostril. There are two nostrils are there. So, and next you can show the pharynx region. This is what the pharynx is a common opening or common passage for both the entry of food and the air. So air is moving here in this pattern, and the food is passed in this pattern and enters the oropharynx. So it's actually nasopharynx, laryngopharynx. So next part is called laryngopharynx. So next it enters the glottis. Here actually epiglottis will be there, that is the opening called glottis. This is opening internally when we observe. Glottis is there here, glottis, and which is covered by elastic layer, that is called epiglottis. So, and this part is called larynx. We refer it as larynx. We can say larynx. We can call even also called voice box, which produces the voice box, right? So next there is a trachea. Next part you can mention, yes, it is trachea. You can label the remaining parts. Trachea, and the outer layer externally. So this is the pleura layer. Outer, actually it's outer one is called so you can mention parietal pleura. So this is the parietal pleura it is, and this is outer actually, and inner layer is called visceral pleura, that is visceral pleura, right? So yes, outer, this is outer parietal pleura, and inner visceral pleura. In between there is a pleural space is also there, no need to mention here, just remember there is a space between these two layers. And next there is a internal bronchial tree is there. So this bronchial tree starts with the primary, this I will show here, the primary bronchus. Single plural term is bronchi. So that plural term is actually can refer it as bronchi is the plural term. So single I have shown primary bronchus. And next one, the next branch is called secondary. These are the secondary bronchus. And there are two lobes also you can mention. These are the lobes of lungs. This is 2 because it is in left side 2 are there, in right side 3 are there. Next one is primary bronchus, secondary bronchus, and tertiary bronchus. So next you can show tertiary bronchus. So next part, at the end tubular structures are called bronchioles. Bronchioles are opens into a sac-like structure that is called alveolus. And here also plural term is alveoli. right? So you can remember it as alveoli. And next, so this is, you can mention the base of the lung, base of the lung, and this is the actually apex of the lung apex. Next, this is what the diaphragm, you can show it as diaphragm, right? So these are the parts we should label. So here, this is very important for 5 marks. Remember, students, and practice this diagram for many times until you remember. Yes, thank you, students.